It's good to be live again. It's good to be live again. Get a little rusty around the corners, right? Always setting it up, and it's almost like you're starting the first time. But you know what? Even if there's only 6 lions watching, I put my heart into this. And I promised that I would show you the portfolio. And, it took me some time to get it up and, put it in a format so I could share it with everyone. But here we are. Here we are. Exciting times, a little bit of let's say, a nervous day, right? We saw a flash crash, I would call it. Does it worry me? No, not really. Are we going to see the 250,000 in October as I have, as was my prediction is and has been now for the past 2 years? Well, we're going to look at that. I am really not going to try to make such a long live stream. I'm going to really try to keep it short. Share with you the portfolio, Betty's portfolio, share with you the positions, the allocation, and a little bit about the timing. And that's all I'm going to do. So it's good to see Take. Hooray! It's good to see you. And my good friend Tony is also here. And of course, Ron Jeremy's here. Good to see you. You're just here. We got the core lions and Sandra. Mwah! A big kiss to you. But I want to start. And if there's any questions and so on, we just leave them until the end. And of course, your opinions always matter to me. So let's start as we always do. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps 2 Cryptocurrency Portfolio Update 2025. In case you're new to this channel and you want to stay on top of the crypto world, but then do me a favor, hit smash and subscribe to the channel so that you can become among the top 1%. My name is Nico Arachi and I am, as you know, a real investor. So here we are. Let's go into it and see where, first of all, when we go in, and I want to look a little bit at, as we always do, at Bitcoin, and I want to look at it at the weekly. At this moment, right? We saw the rate cut. I think we would all expect to see the altcoin season having taken off more than it has. And am I nervous? No, I'm not nervous. Nervous a little bit about the timing, right? I do like to call myself number one and not no one. The timing the market, however, as you know, is the most difficult. What I want to, short term point out here, but now we're looking at the weekly and we're looking at with the 7-day moving average. Now, we did here the previous weeks in August, we went a little bit below, then we did, close above in the first week of September, second week of September, and now here the third week we are below. Let's see where this week is gonna end. And even if we will go below, I am still optimistic that it's just around the corner before we're really gonna see the market take off. Now, I don't know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if I'm gonna be, producing these live streams on a daily basis. So I do wanna just show you where I think that we could be going short term. Now we're looking here at the 4-hour chart, and I think that we actually went down here. You could see, I think actually there's support here where we are currently. Now it doesn't mean that we couldn't go down lower, and if we're gonna go down lower, then I think that we could maybe see Bitcoin at 110. I mean, this would also be possible. So I'm just going to put in some support levels of where I see or where I would be buying. I cannot make a line here when there's when I'm on the live stream, right? When I do it then alone, then it's always no problem. Maybe down at 110. We could also maybe go down to maybe 107. This is where I would see the bottom of this short-term, let's say, correction. I am very optimistic. And if we go in and we look at the 4-hour on Ethereum, Yeah, what is this? Let's go in and see. I see the same. I see the same pattern. I believe I'm not going to draw those lines. I think that we went down here. You can see on the 4 hour, we got support here at 4,070. Now, if we're going to go further down, I think we might go down to maximum 3.5. And I actually, since we're talking portfolio, I do have reserve left that if we're going to go down and see 3.5, I will add to the overall portfolio. Now, let's have a quick look at the markets overall today. And if we look at now, say Bitcoin now in 24 hours is only down 2%. I remember when I woke up this morning, right, the entire market was much more red. But again, I'm just going to go over it quickly. Ethereum down 7%. We see XRP down 5%, BNB 6%, 7% to Solana, 9% Doge. Then we got 7% Cardano, Hyperliquid, also around 7%. Chainlink 8%. Then we got, Avalanche 3, 8% to Sui, Stellar 5 to Bitcoin Cash, Hedera 7, almost 8, Litecoin 9. What I'm trying to show you that we are again seeing a clear sign of manipulation. You see, I don't believe that this morning, retail investors around the world, they woke up and said, okay, now we're just going to sell everything across. It wouldn't make sense, right? So I think we are still in a market that is very much being manipulated. And that is why we are seeing across the board, doesn't matter which coin, more or less the same, retracement in 24 hours. Now, so we are in a manipulated environment, but you know that. If you follow this channel, you know that. Now, let's talk about, before I'll show you the portfolio very, very shortly. Now, remember, we always, as I said, timing the market is the most difficult. And I want to go in and talk about, remember, with Bitcoin's historical correction, I was spot on when we called it, when we saw the low in November 2021, right? And if we compare that to the previous historical corrections, 12 months, and 14 months, we hit it. I mean, I was again a little bit off. I had a prediction of Bitcoin 12,000. I think the low was done at 15,000. But I mean, that's pretty good. And that estimation or that prediction came when Bitcoin was around, I don't know, 50,000. Now, who cares about the historical corrections, right? We want to talk about the historical bull runs. And it seems to me that we are in the fourth cycle. So again, if we go in here and look at the 2010 to 2013, it took 1,399 days from its low to its all-time high. From 13 to 17, it took 1,461 days. 2017 to 2021, it took 1,431 days. And my prediction based that we will reach Bitcoin 250,000 in October 2025 is projected on the 1,430 days. And if you watch these live streams, you know exactly what Tony knows what I'm talking about, right? And Ron, my good friend Ron, he knows what I'm talking about. So, and as Sam is saying, 200K BTC next year. I think that could actually be right. Now, but what I want to say, my prediction here was 1,430 days. Now, if we're going to go into 1,460 days, 1,500 days, we are still very much in line with the historical cycles, right? So if we're going to see Bitcoin 200, 250 in November or in December, I'm still going to take credit for having predicted it. Am I a little bit nervous? Of course you are. Of course I am. And so are you. And that's what investing is all about. Anyway, enough said. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go in now and look at the portfolio. And I have put it in. It's not my entire portfolio. Again, this is Betty's portfolio. And it's around half the size. Currently, it's valued at 4.4 million. And you can see over the last 24 hours, I hope you can see, over the last 24 hours, we lost $270,000. Is Betty concerned? No, hell no, hell no. These are the volatilities that we are living with. Now, I want to go in here and you can see historically, we're going back and we can see the portfolio had a real good high there in February 2026. It was up almost at 14 million. Now, of course, it doesn't really display. Remember, I'm also not managing your money. I'm only managing Betty's money. Now, why was it up? Well, it was because I had a certain position in MantraDAO, which still is in this portfolio, takes a big size, but we were lucky. And if you follow the streams or the Telegram, you will remember I've always been advocating for MantraDAO. We were lucky that it increased up to almost $8 per coin. I sold 1/3 of Betty's position at around $4. We netted in there around $5 million. And then it dropped down to 22 cents. And now it is in the past, since in 2025, we are again now seeing it go up. Now, this portfolio can potentially, if it's going to hit, if every position just in this portfolio is going to hit its all-time high, which not all coins are going to, obviously, but then it will be around $60 million. A lot of these coins that I have here are still not all of them, but a lot of them are still way below. Some of them, I'm talking about, some of them are only 40% below the all-time high, but there are some that are 94% below the previous all-time highs. What I also want to say is that I believe that this portfolio is not only set up for the third cycle, for the fourth cycle, or let's breathe it in. It's not only set up for the next 3 months, because I think that the cryptocurrency markets, they are more mature now. Of course, we're seeing manipulation. Of course, we're seeing speculation. But in the end of the day, it's about identifying the true market leaders of tomorrow. So a lot of these positions, I believe, are long-term holdings. Let's get into it now. So still of this, we still have around, as we can see here, 30% in USDT. Are we going to retrace back? I would use that liquidity. Now, 13%, and the biggest position is actually Radium, exposed to the Solana ecosystem. And remember, maybe we never spoke so much about Solana, but I've always been talking about Radium. I've always been talking about Radium because Radium is one of the biggest DeFi platforms or DeFi protocols on Solana. And therefore, we get this exposure to the Solana ecosystem, having blue chips, but Radium has simply outperformed Solana by far. And it's been lovely. We got MantraDAO with around 7%. Then we got Chainlink. So remember, every coin I'm mentioning here are coins that we are holding. Chainlink at around 3.9% of the portfolio. Cartesi, 2.7%. Synthetics, 2.6%. LivePeer, 2.6%. Injective Protocol, 2.4%. Stellar Lumens, they don't call them Stellar Lumens anymore, 2.48%. Quant, I love Quant, 2.4%. Theta Network, 2.3%. Linea is a new coin, absolutely love it. Set up, programmed, incorporated, ignited by consensus by Joseph Lubin. Remember, we love Joseph Lubin. So Linea just started trading, got good exposure there. Uniswap, 2%. Engine Coin, Curve, 1.86%. Chilis, Cardano, Compound at 1.6%. Ondo, 1.6%. The Graph, 1.5%. Scale, 1.5%. Indigo Protocol, 1.2%. Internet Computer, 1.2%. Goldfinch at 1%, 45,000 current value. Solana, 1%. Thorchain Rune is an old position that I still have. I'm not so optimistic on Thorchain Rune, though. Let have that be said. 0.9%. Then we've got virtual protocols, 0.7%. Power Ledger, 0.6, Hedera 0.59, Illuvium, Energy Web Token, then smaller, 1 inch, only 0.25%, Artificial Super Intelligence with the ticker FET. Then we got Metis, NetSwap, Origin Trail, EtherRisk, Unibright, and Ensure Ace. And now let's go down and I will just mention a few words to some of the already talked about Radium. Why am I still optimistic on MantraDAO, even though it's currently trading at 17 cents on the dollar? It had a high of $8 5 to 6 months ago. But MantraDAO is doing real world assets, and they got a huge contract from one of the biggest property developers in the Middle East. So I still believe in them long term. Actually, lucky to get in. But remember, we got in. It's currently at 17 cents, and we got in at 0.04. Actually, even cheaper, but we got, that's when I think I mentioned it. Chainlink, you all know Chainlink, right? Chainlink is the oracle. The oracle. You need Chainlink. You can't go around. It's that blue chip. Then we got Cartesi, infrastructure, synthetics. But synthetics is also a position I've been holding for a long time. I wouldn't put it on my top 5 list for you if you're new and you look at that. But we are holding synthetics because we earned a lot on synthetics. I still believe that they at least I believe that they can increase substantially in price, but I wouldn't put it on my number 1 list if you knew. Then we got LivePeer. What is LivePeer? Well, that is infrastructure. It is streaming. Injective protocol. I love Injective. Plug and play. Easy to build on the Injective protocol. Stellar. I think we don't need to talk about them. It's DeFi issuing central CBDCs, right? Central bank digital currencies. Quant. I love Quant. DeFi. Also, in case you want, I'm not going to, specify too much about each coin. In case you want to know more of them, you go in and you look at the videos or you ask a question. But I love Quant. I love Quant. Any pullback? Currently, you can see here in the portfolio down 15.99%. I'm going to increase the position in Quant. Theta Network, infrastructure, also when it comes to streaming. Linear, we talked about that. It's a layer 2 issued by Consensus, by Joseph Lubin. Consensus, Joseph Lubin is the co-founder of Ethereum, right? They're working hand in hand with JP Morgan. And if you watch my Linear video, you would also see that I got a MetaMask credit card connected to the Linear blockchain. It is lovely. I don't have a bank. It's the first time that I have a cryptocurrency debit card. Credit card, debit card. I never had credit, but using a debit card, and I can go in, I can buy flight tickets, I can go and into restaurants, and it is so lovely. It's just connected to my MetaMask wallet. And I do believe that the biggest ICO that's going to be in history is going to be the MetaMask ICO. In case you don't have MetaMask yet, you better get it installed. It's the only way you're going to get an airdrop. Uniswap. Uniswap is the biggest decentralized exchange. You got to have it. You got to hold it. Engine, gaming. Curve, DeFi liquidity provider. Chiliz. Chiliz has established itself as a blockchain protocol for some of the biggest sports clubs in the world. So we also holding, currently the position in Chiliz is worth $80,000. We're down 2.74%. I'm also now this specific, a lot of these we are staking obviously, and I won't go into this today, but Chiliz we're also staking. Go and get yourself a validator, staking at around 20% per annum. Speaking about sport coins, what I would recommend, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get myself a small portfolio of football tokens. For example, Paris Saint-Germain fan token. I think there are also some fan tokens from Barcelona or some of the some bigger football clubs. You see, why am I going to get, I'm not that much into to gambling or to sports, but why am I going to get myself some fan tokens? If you go in and you look at Paris Saint-Germain, maybe among the top 5 most successful, highest valued football clubs in the world. It's only a matter of time until all their fans, everyone who watches them, follows them, and football fans, they follow their football club almost like religion. So it's not a part of our portfolio, but I'm going to get myself a little side portfolio of fan tokens. Paris Saint-Germain, the current market cap is at $16 million. Lots of potential. And then when you watch, if you actually do watch football, you'll be happy because probably in the future, if these football clubs and the tokens, if they're going to win Champions League, they're going to win their, the national leagues, you will see increase in price and it will make it more fun to watch the game. Anyway, of course, we're holding Cardano. It's important. I think that Cardano is lagging behind. Am I a bit worried about Charles? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Anyway, but we're still holding. Compound, DeFi, one of the old ones, down 16%. So you can see some, I'm not mentioning the ones where we are down or up, but you can see some of them we're still down, which means that you will be able to get them at a cheaper price than what I got them for. Betty. Ondo, real world assets is important. Get yourself some Ondos if you believe in real world assets. The graph is another infrastructure. It has a similar position as Chainlink when it comes to connecting data. The graph and Chainlink. So I love the graph. Scale. Indigo Protocol. Indigo Protocol is, I think, the second or the third largest DeFi exchange or decentralized exchange on Cardano. Had to get some. Currently, the valued at 57,000, and I think that Betty is, among the top 20 holders. Internet computer, big AI, you need that. Goldfinch, believe it, they're doing something with BlackRock, real world assets. You all know Solana. As I said, Thorchain Rune, I don't know. The reason why I don't like Thorchain Rune is I tried myself there to provide liquidity and I always find it so awfully difficult. It's not it's a terrible user experience. Also down 37%. I'm just holding, one of the older ones. Virtual AI. And here's an interesting, and I want to talk about two here. Power Ledger and then skip down also to Energy Web Token. These are the major protocols, blockchain protocols, when it comes to energy on the blockchain. Have they met my expectations in terms of generating great performance? Not at all. But I do hope and think that also it's only a matter of time until they will see their sunny day. Hedera, another blockchain that you need if you believe in the future of finance. Illuvium Gaming. And then we got 1inch, as I've also spoken many times about. It is the aggregator of decentralized exchanges. Artificial and Superintelligence Alliance, FED. I forgot what it was called before. I could also not mention that name, but that's an old school AI company. Very, also working close with Cardano, with Charles, and I believe in them. Metis is one of our older holdings. I would not prioritize Metis. But since it's a position, we made so much money with it in the last circle, we still have some coins. Only worth $8,000. And we got NetSwap. NetSwap, we got 131,000. NetSwap is the biggest, was one of the biggest decentralized exchanges on Metis. Then we got Origin Trail, which is logistics. I think that's also important. I think it's a matter of time until these subdivisions of traditional companies, or, what is so important, we are going to see this transition from traditional to digital. And it's not, of course, the first segments is DeFi. Everybody talking about gaming, AI, of course it is. That will come. But subsequently, we are going to see logistics and data and oracles, because it's kind of the glue of the economy. Then we got here, and the same goes for Unibright. Unibright is also with logistics and infrastructure. Logistics, I think there's even a better word than logistics. And then I still got either risk and insurance, small positions. But I also believe that we need to have small positions when it comes to insurance. Insurance today is one of the biggest industries in the world. And it's also only a matter of time until we're going to see insurance explode on the blockchain. That's all. That's all. Let me see if there's any questions, and if not, then let me just go here 1 second. If there's going to be any, if you've got any questions, or even if one of my positions that you think, wow, why did you do that? That's going to hell, and nobody needs that, and nobody wants that, then please let me know. Now, there will be probably questions about the Polkadot ecosystem. I'm very disappointed in the Polkadot ecosystem. It was always so complicated, but I had so much. I liked their appeal, and I liked their approach, and there was a lot of hype about it. Now, of course, we're still holding the old positions, right? And if you follow the live streams and so on, you will know which ones they are. I mean, I'm not increasing any positions in any Polkadot. I'm going to see, are we going to, be able to basically recover it? And, but I don't really see, as of now, great future for Polkadot. So let me see here. Taitek, what do you say here? If someone asked you to name top 10 your favorite coins, what would it be? A big nasty, a big tasty. How are you doing, my good friend? Well, top 10, it's difficult. The top 10, okay, let's try to go in. That's you want to narrow me down? Let me go in and put in. Let's go in back and look and have a look at the top 10. Radium, Chainlink, Stellar, Injective, Quant, Linear, The Graph, Chilis, I forgot how many we are, Ondo, and Solana. I think that would probably be the 10. But it's also difficult because timing the market, right? I still believe, let me put it like this. Traditionally in these cycles, what we would see major inflow first into Bitcoin. It will then trickle down to the blue chips, right? The layer ones. That would be, in previous, it would be the, like Solana or Ethereum, we can, and Binance, and some of the Binance is also good. Even though they're at the all-time high. So that's why I don't see, if you're going to buy Binance, you're not going to make 10x, right? And we still want to make 10x. So what I'm saying is, we haven't really seen altcoin season. But the point is if we're going to see, as we saw in the previous cycles, that the market is really going to take off, Bitcoin has already hit its all-time high, yeah? And even if it is going to go to 200,000, 250,000, that would be 100% gain. That's not what we are here. Even if Ethereum, as I predicted, is going to hit 15,000, that would be, 220%. That's not why we're here, right? We're here for the 10x, the 100x, if possible. So my approach will be the following, and I will keep you updated, is if we're really going to see now altcoin season take off, and we're going to see some of the big positions increase, because first we see Bitcoin, we see Ethereum, we see Solana. Then we're going to see the smaller coins, also blue chips, but like the biggest decentralized exchanges on these layer ones. We will see specific layer twos increase. And then the whole point is to take gain and then go into smaller cap coins that will obviously have higher risk, but much greater reward. Now, of course, the best thing would be now, I mean, hypothetically would be not to invest in any of these pretty big coins that I have here and just go in and find those that was going to do 1,000x. But there is also too much risk. I think the risk reward by currently going into blue chips, as I believe that my portfolio is more, I think we have a well-diversified portfolio with a lot of upside potential. But as soon as we're going to see the majority of these coins hit their previous all-time highs and hopefully more, it's about taking profit and going into the lower cap coins. This is actually what this channel and what investing is about, right? This waiting has been boring. It was long. And I think we're all tired of it. Anyway, that's it for me. What about Moonbeam? So, yes. Well, Moonbeam, it goes, Sandra, it goes into the Polkadot portfolio. And I'm not sure. If you go in and look at the total, I mean, let me give you an example as we like to do here, right? Let me go in here and let's look. And then if we go in and you can also, because this you can do yourself, right? You go into DeFi Llama. And then you go in there and then you look for Moonbeam. And then you go in. And it's a good indication. Total value locked in, I don't know if you can see it, is 7 million. That's nothing. That's nothing. 7 million total value locked in is nothing. And if you go in and look at the metrics, how much there was, almost there was 200 and whatever, 50,000 locked in 2022, and it's only going down. I mean, if you look at this, what can I say? It's a terrible thing. And that's why I'm not so optimistic when it comes to the Polkadot ecosystem anymore. And that's about that. Taitek, thank you. We love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And, all your little lovely comments makes all this worthwhile. Because I can tell you, doing YouTube, we're making around $20 a month doing YouTube. So I only do this because I love you. And all 16 of you. Anyway, that's all I got to say about this. I love you all. I will see you soon. I'm not going to put a date on it, but all my work, everything I do is invest in crypto for Betty. Now remember, all 16 of you, and I do think that this is important, I like to put these little videos in the end, and I will again put it around about the eagle, because all of you individually are bound to make money, because we believed in the future of finance. I'll see you next time. I love you all.